welcome back to the VHC's accountancy classes. Today we will do analysis of financial statements for second PU as the exams are near. So we will study one more 12 marker which you can do it as an optional answer, which is easy, and we have POQ, which is again a 5 marker here. So what is financial statement analysis? Why do we have to do this analysis? One, we have to know what is the financial position. Is the business doing good? Is the business earning efficient profit that it will be able to sustain in the market? And how the managerial efficiency. To know all this analysis and to compare the trends from past to current and what might be the future. With the help of this, we can predict what is future. So we do this analysis of financial statement. Here we have various tools to analyze financial statements. Among that, which we will be doing is comparative, one comparative, balance sheet, and P&L, and common size, balance sheet, and P&L. To do this comparative balance sheet and P&L, these shall be in Schedule 3 format, which is given by MCA to present the balance sheet in the format that is being provided. Next, we have ratio analysis, which is a separate chapter. That is also analysis of financial statement. Then we have cash flow statement. Again, it is a different chapter. We will do cash flow statement in a later part of point. But today's class, we will do balance sheet and common size, only the balance sheet. Comparative and common size of only balance sheet, which will be there for 12 markers. P&L, they might ask for POQ 5 mark questions. So let's do one problem. I will put the question in the comment, the link. Here I will be solving the problem because of the time constraints. Before we jump into the problem, what is comparative? We call this also as horizontal analysis. This will help us to compare the amounts for two periods. What was the previous year? What was the current year? So let's do the problem. Now in the given question, first we have to classify. First, as soon as the question is being given, please classify that into assets and liabilities. First, share capital, it is a liability. And it will come under, we will write down the format. Here, particulars, 2000. You always write the first present current year and then write the previous year. Then we write absolute increase or decrease. You have to write increase or decrease in rupees. Then absolute increase or decrease in percentage. This is the format for comparative balance sheet. Next, we have to write the format that is given by MCA as per Schedule 3. Schedule 3 tells equity and liabilities. We first start with equities and liabilities. Under equities and liabilities, we first do shareholders. This is A. Shareholders fund. Under shareholders fund, we first have share capital. if there are any notes given under share capital, you might have equity share capital and preference share capital. You have to prepare a note and then come back to write the amount here. Then reserves and surplus. Accumulated reserves and surplus which belongs to the company. So reserves and surplus. Next, B is non-current liabilities. Under non-current liabilities, long-term borrowings and long-term provisions. Next, we have current liabilities. Current liabilities, we have trade payables, or it is also known as sundry creditors. Trade payables, we have short-term borrowings, other current liabilities, and we have short-term provisions. So this will be the format for the liabilities side. So in the question, share capital comes under share capital. Under shareholders fund, the first part will be share capital. The amount given here is 2011. It is 10 lakh. 2008 is 8 lakh. We have reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus as given in the question is 1 lakh, 20,000 and 1 lakh. Next, they have given secured loan and unsecured loan. Since nothing is mentioned, you club those two under long-term borrowings. So secured loans and unsecured loans both together in 2011, 40 plus 10, it is 50,000. And 30 plus 20 is 50,000 again. Long-term provisions in question, it is nothing. Then we have sundry creditors, which comes under trade payables. So 1 lakh and 80,000. No short-term borrowings, no other current liabilities, and no other short-term provisions. So this will be your total liabilities. Your total liabilities will be 10 lakh plus 1 lakh 20 plus 50 plus 1 lakh. It will be 12 lakh 70,000 for 2011. For 2010, it is 10 lakh 30,000. Now let's do the calculation. How will you calculate absolute increase or decrease in rupees? 2011 minus 2010. That is your current year minus your previous year. Current year minus your previous year, you will get your absolute increase or decrease in amount. So increase or decrease. Now 10 lakh is the amount current year, but previous year it was only 8 lakh. That means there is increase in 2 lakh. Next, 1 lakh 20 minus 1 lakh. It is 20,000. 50,000, 50,000. There is nil. Here we have nothing. Only sundry creditors. Again, there is increase in 20,000. Now, how will you calculate absolute increase or decrease in percentage? It is the difference, what absolute increase or decrease you are getting, into 100 divided by current year. So 2 lakh into 100 divided by 10 lakh. That is your 20%. Next, you have 20,000. 20,000 into 100 divided by 1,20,000. You will get 16.67%. Here we have again nil. Then we have sundry creditors. Sundry creditors is 20,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100. That will be 20%. You shall calculate the differential here also. 12 lakh 70 is the total liabilities of 2011 minus 10 lakh 30,000 in 2010. So we have 2 lakh 40,000. 2 lakh 40,000 divided by 12 lakh 70,000 into 100. We get 18.89%. So here we completed the half of the problem, that is on the liability side. Next we shall do asset side. Okay, under asset side, first it will be non-current assets. Here the first one will be property, plant and equipment. Next will be your long-term loans and advances. Non-current investments. Next we have current assets. Under current assets, we have trade receivables, which is also known as debtors. Next we have inventories, which is also known as stock. Next, cash and cash equivalents. That will be your cash balance, your bank balance. Next we have short-term loans and advances. From question we shall see which comes under which heading in the balance sheet. Now we have building and machinery. Building and machinery is a non-current asset and it comes under property, plant and equipment. So we shall total buildings and machinery. Buildings and machinery is 9 lakh for 2011. 2010 is 7 lakh. We have no loans or advances or non-current investments. Next we have stock, which is also known as inventories. So 1,80,000 current year, previous year it was 2 lakh. Next we have debtors, which is nothing but trade receivables. So trade receivables is 1,50,000 in the current year, previous year it was 1 lakh. We have cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalents 40,000 in current year, previous year it was 30,000. We have no short-term loans and advances. So the balance sheet should tally here. Here the balance sheet total was 12 lakh 70,000 and 10 lakh 30,000. Same procedure will be applied here. Difference between 2000, this is current year and previous year. Current year minus previous year for absolute increase or decrease in amount. Then we have percentage increase or decrease. 9 lakh minus 7 lakh is 2 lakh. Here increase is 50,000. Here it is decreased. Previous year it was 2 lakh, now it is reduced. So decrease, you will put it in your brackets. And 10,000 for cash and cash equivalents. Now we shall see the percentage. 2 lakh divided by 9 lakh into 100. It is 22.22%. Next we have 50,000 divided by 1 lakh 50 into 100. 33.33%. 20,000 divided by 1 lakh 80,000 into 100. That will be 11.11%. That is your negative. 10,000 divided by 40,000 into 100 is 25%. Here the differential is 2,40,000. 2,40,000 divided by 12,70,000 into 100. That will be 18.89%. Here the problem ends. The proper format has to be there and amounts has to be placed correctly. First, always write your current year, then write your previous year. Current year minus previous year, you will get your absolute increase or decrease in amount. For finding out the percentage, the differential absolute amount what you've got divided by your current year into 100, you will get your percentage. Next, we shall do common size balance sheet. In common size statement in balance sheet, we take total asset as the benchmark. We will compare all the other assets with the total assets, how much it is being segregated into, how much of current asset is under current asset, how much of trade total asset the trade receivable is. So we will find out that. Here again the format schedule 3 balance sheet format will be followed. Let's do liability side first. So we start off with the equity and liabilities. Equities and liabilities, shareholders fund. As in comparative statement, the question for the previous question itself, I'm doing the common size statement for the year 2011. So there the total asset for 2011 was 12,70,000, and this is the benchmark that I'm going to take. Shareholders fund, we have share capital A and B as reserves and surplus. So here 2011 it was 10 lakh and reserves was 1,20,000. Then we have non-current liabilities, the loans. Long term, under non-current, it is classified as long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings, both secured and unsecured, for 2011 was 50,000. And next current liabilities. No other amount was there in non-current. Under non-current liabilities, we have only sundry creditors, which is also known as trade payables. Here the amount was 1 lakh. How will you find out the percentage for total asset or liability? Here 10 lakh divided by 12 lakh 70,000 into 100. That will be 78.7. Always total asset will be equal to your total liability. So 12 lakh 70,000. 10 lakh, the individual amount divided by the total into 100. We got as 78.74%. We shall do it for all the other items. 1,20,000 divided by 12,70,000 into 100. It is 9.44%. Then we have 50,000. 50,000 divided by 12,70,000 into 100. 3.94%. 1 lakh divided by 12,70,000 into 100. That will be 7.87%. The same has to be done for assets also. Buildings and liability will be classified under PPE. property, plant and equipment, non-current asset. Stock, debtors, cash at bank will be classified under current assets under individual line item. Stock will be under inventory, debtors is your trade receivables, cash at bank will be your cash and cash equivalents. You will do the same procedure. Individual amount divided by total into 100. That will give you the percentage. So common size also is done for your exams. The same I will explain it in Kannada for people for better understanding. ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತೀರಾ? ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಈ 10 lakh ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಆರ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಬರೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಇಂಟು 100. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಲೈನ್ ಐಟಮ್ಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ 3 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ MCA ಅವ್ರು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಫಾಲೋ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್. ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ನು ಇದೇ ತರ ಮಾಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ ಒಂದ್ ಲೈನ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೇನೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಆರ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 2011 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಈ ವರ್ಷ, ಇದು ಹಿಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ವರ್ಷದ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷದ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇದೆ. ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಹಿಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಈ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ಹಿಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ, ಇವಾಗ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಈ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಇಂಟು 100 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 2 lakh ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 10 lakh, 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇಂಟು 100 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 20% ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಬ್ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಬಾರೋಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 20,000 ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹೋದ ವರ್ಷ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇತ್ತು, ಈ ವರ್ಷ 1,20,000 ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ 20,000. ದ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ 20,000 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 1,20,000 ಇಂಟು 100. ಸೊ 16.67%. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಬಾರೋಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನ್ ಹಿಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದೇ ಈ ವರ್ಷನೂ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸನ್ರಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಪೇಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹೋದ ವರ್ಷ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ 80,000, ಈ ವರ್ಷ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ, 20,000 ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 20,000 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇಂಟು 100 20%. ಇದಕ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ದೆ ನಮ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಸೊ 2,40,000 ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 12,70,000 ಮೈನಸ್ 10,20,000 2,10,000. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಸೇಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದಿರೋ ಟೋಟಲ್ಗೂ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ 2,20,000 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 12,70,000 ಇಂಟು 100 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 18.89% ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅಸೆಟ್ಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ 12 ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು POQs ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ವಿಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ POQ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನೇಷನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.